learners, welcome to this video. Now today we will be discussing about causes of human trafficking. So in the earlier video and by reading the self-learning material, you must have understood what is human trafficking and what are the contours of human trafficking. So today we will talk about the causes of human trafficking. We have discussed about demand and supply of human beings. So a human being is a commodity which can be sold and which can be purchased. So when we talk about the vulnerability factor, then we understand that human beings are vulnerable people. They have been abused, exploited, and they are the victims of crime and not criminals themselves. So while further understanding the concept of human trafficking, it is very important that we also talk about the causes of human trafficking. So most importantly, we will just try to break away the vicious circle of vulnerability of a person. So the causes can only be minimized or can be just removed if there is no demand, then the supply is not needed. So if we have to address the demand side, then we can say that by cutting out the demand, there is no need for human trafficking across the globe. So the first cause can be demand for cheap labor. Everybody needs cheap labor, Everybody wants to earn profit. A businessman wants to earn profit in his business. For family also, we need domestic helpers, who are going to help us in our daily course. And if we have to pay them or very less, or we don't have to pay them, so good. Then there is a demand for factory, for hazardous employment. There is a big demand of cheap labor. Or we have demand for beggars. Then we have demand for sexual exploitation. Sexual exploitation, at the brothels. Sexual exploitation in the gyms, massage parlors. Sexual exploitations in hotels. Then, in tourism sector. So we have so much demand for sexual exploitation. Then we have demand for organ trade. Lot of people, want organs. So there is a big demand of organs. Some people out of their vulnerability also sell. So there is a demand for an organ, and somebody, out of his vulnerability is ready to sell his organ. So if want a kidney, then I have a kidney, I can become a donor. But in cases of organ transplantation, if we do not follow the strict law on organ transplantation and organ transplantation happens, then if the post-operative care is not done properly, then the person who is a donor is not able to survive long. We have seen that within 1 year of donation, lot of people die because they do not get post-operative care. Lack of post-operative care, proper nutritious diet, proper medical care leads to death of the donors. Then poverty is a reason. So many people are below poverty line in India, and when we talk about a person who is poor, his vulnerability is always on a higher side, irrespective of whether that person is a male, female or a child. A poor is always vulnerable. So if you want to address human trafficking, you have to just break this vicious circle of poverty. Displacement. Lot of people, are displaced from their location. So suppose, I have been staying here for generations, and then by a order of the government or by local intervention, I have been told to move from one place to another. So, the soil changes, the language changes, the surrounding changes, the employment opportunity changes, then maybe my region also changes. So, if I am displaced without proper rehabilitation schemes being implemented in cases of displacement, then I am vulnerable. So, if I am not able to lead a life with dignity and worth as provided under the Fundamental Rights chapter of Constitution of India, then displacements leads to trafficking, or this is a reason why a person is vulnerable and can be trafficked, because the traffickers are waiting for an opportunity to get hold of vulnerable people, and displacement is a vulnerability. Then in cases of natural calamity, if the government schemes are not implemented well, if the government help or the help of NGOs or the public-private partnership does not reach on time, then the people who have suffered this natural calamity are very vulnerable, and they may be trafficked or they may be a prey for the traffickers. In cases of the literacy rate, if I talk about, just reading and writing, will it suffice? So, if I am able to read my name or I am able to write my name, that means I am literate. What about legal education, What about overall educational development, wherein, my mind develops, my body develops, my soul also develops. So, illiteracy is there in India, and this is a big reason for people not being able to make reasoned choices. People are lured because they are illiterate. So, one can fool me, one can overpower me because I am illiterate. So, ignorance of law is no excuse in India, but legal education is only 2%. So, this needs to be addressed by the welfare state so that legal education, and education, Article 21A, Right to Education Act, should be implemented properly so that, the cause of human trafficking because of illiteracy can be reduced. Unemployment. I am unemployed, I don't have any kind of employment. So, what will I do? Even after doing, post-graduation, after doing my PhD, I don't get jobs. I do not have any skill. In, ancient period, we have seen that every family was a skill-oriented family. There were some traditions and some skills which were followed from generations to generations. So, illiteracy rate was there, but still people were employed. Lot of Indian population was involved in agriculture. So, if we talk about, that population of India is maximum in the rural belt, and in rural belt we have agriculture as main occupation. So, if we can have skill education, if we can have something which reaches in the grounds. So, we have lot of governmental schemes, we have lot of governmental policies, both national and state level, but if they are able to reach the real takers, then we will be able to address the issue of unemployment. So, in every village, if we can address this issue of unemployment by providing them skill-based education, by providing them quality education, by providing job avenues in the village, in the district, in the state. By quality education, I want to tell you, quality education means that a person should be educated, and during education he or she should be trained to use his education for the maximum gain and for the nation's development. Organized crime is also a cause of human trafficking. All these criminals, the hardcore criminals are earning well, so they need people for their business. So from where will they get these people? They will get these people from villages, from districts, from cities, people who are poor, who are vulnerable, who cannot make reasoned choices, who are lured. Somebody who wants to become an actor or an actress but does not know how to become. I give an advertisement on the social platform and then I start asking for their videos. What use of video will I make in future? That is not known to the people who are sending me videos. So that can be there on the pornographic sites, that can be shared internationally, that can be tempered with, changed and then used on social platforms. Later on I can also blackmail you showing your own videos. So there is an entire racket of organized crime for various purposes. It can be for different offences defined under the Indian Penal Code 1860. It can be for cyber crimes also. So sitting at home, you are not safe now. Your child sitting in home is very vulnerable because you have given the child laptop, computers, but the child does not knows how and when to use the computer. Technology is there, usage is there, misuse is also there, but proper training is not there. So the system is not updated, antivirus is not there, and the child, even the males and females, the adult population is not trained to use technology. So they are vulnerable. Migration is a big issue, when you migrate in groups, then you are vulnerable and a trafficker may want to use your vulnerability to his advantage. Then begar. For generations, lot of people work. Somebody in the generation has taken loan from a lender. People are working for generations to pay off that loan. Still the interest rate is increasing every month and you work as a begar without payments, without humane conditions, without working hours, and you abide by every statement made by the person who is controlling you. Then we have lot of discriminations on the basis of language, discriminations on the basis of caste, discrimination on the basis of color, skin, region. So all these discriminations lead to vulnerability, and when you are vulnerable, then this is a cause of human trafficking. Lack of resources, it is very important. Somebody is getting 24 hours electricity being an Indian citizen, and somebody has only 1 hour of electricity, and somebody is still waiting for the bulb to light. So we have natural resources. Somebody has plenty of water, mineral water to drink and use. Somebody travels with cans on their shoulders for kilometers in search of one bucket of water. Then for soil, somebody is living in a fertile land, somebody is living in an area which is prone to drought or floods. So resources are there, should be optimally used, but it is not same. We have natural resources, we have man-made resources. So in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of public distribution system, if it is not even in all parts of the country, if my education, my awareness, my transparency, my dedication, my commitment affects these things, then this is a time wherein a welfare state has to come up with a policy and program so that the resources are optimally utilized, and as a socialist state, the state has to intervene so that somebody is not out of resources and somebody has plenty of them. Then human desires. I just discussed, somebody wants to just earn money at one go. A big lottery, will suffice my entire life. So somebody tells me, okay, you come with me to a foreign land, but I don't have my valid visa and passport. So that person takes me from one place to another by illegal routes. Then I go to the other country. So what happens that I don't know who my employer is, where I am moving. I just trust that person who is a trafficker or who is a mediator, pimp or anybody, So I just trust that person, go with him. In case of any, abuse, I cannot contact the police because I am new to the foreign land. I do not know anybody. I do not have any contacts from the Indian embassy because I do not have my valid visa and passport. So I struggle and hide from the police officials so that they don't find me. Otherwise, I will be punished. Then, even if I go with valid visa and passport, my passport is with my employer. Working conditions are as per my employer. So, I am working for 20 hours, getting, basic diet, which is not as per the, balanced diet concept or the nutritional diet concept. So, we are not following the sustainability development goals there. Labor rights are violated, but still, because, my desires was such that I was lured, I was, attracted to the, world of, fashion, or, a world where, we have a lot of actors and actresses as our role models, a world, where we find so much of riches or so much of possessions by few people. So something lured me, something attracted me, and then just to fulfill that desire, I followed a trafficker who violated my basic rights, my human rights, my constitutional rights, and my legal rights. Then beggary, beggary is prohibited in India. Still we find beggars on street. Out of morality, people tend to give them 1 rupee, 5 rupees, 10 rupees. So if we do not give alms to beggars, then the demand for beggary will finish and there will be no exploitation of people, of children who are working as beggars. Under the Juvenile Justice Act, these are, people who need care and protection and should be protected under the Act and then should be rehabilitated. Vulnerability in any form is a big cause of human trafficking. So this vulnerability should be addressed at village level, at panchayat level, at district level, at city level and at metro level. So if we are able to address the vulnerability level as a welfare state, if all the stakeholders come together and address this issue, then if we reduce vulnerability, then the cause of human trafficking can be negated. Lack of infrastructure, we just discussed how many hospitals or how many trained doctors we have in a village, how many trained teachers we have in a school, what kind of infrastructure we are having at the village level in terms of road, in terms of factories, in terms of diploma degree centers, in terms of school, colleges, degree colleges. So all these infrastructure, reforms have to be there so that in a welfare state, one Indian citizen is not, just being deprived of the basic infrastructure because he belongs to a particular region. Then the gaps in the public distribution system should be reduced and minimized, and the violator should be punished. Then sometimes, lack of involvement of stakeholders while making policy decisions also is a factor, which increases human trafficking. If you want to make a law on human trafficking, then do talk to the stakeholders. Do talk to the victims and survivors and their family members so that you have a comprehensive law to handle the issue of human trafficking. So with all this, the basic thing is that we have to seriously address the vulnerability. We have to do everything, as per our duty. So if I perform my duty and you perform your duties, then the vulnerability factors will be reduced, and we are living in the 5th generation of human rights. So if we are able to address the human rights of individuals, then these causes can be minimized, and later on we will not find any reasons for demand in human trafficking across the globe. Thank you for this session.